Misfits, and welcome. Amanda here, and in today's episode, we're talking all about how to run a chase sequence in your games. Chase sequences are a great way to sort of inject tension and stakes and high energy into your games. One of the first times that I pulled one off in one of my games successfully, my players kind of came away just really enjoying the experience and super complimentary of everything, so I am imparting that wisdom onto you. Let's jump into it. So first things first, whether this is a chase that you have been planning forever or one that you feel is encroaching that you haven't prepared, you need to start deciding in your mind what the trigger for it is. There have been chase sequences that I've done in the past where they were started sort of by like an Indiana Jones style, taking a relic off of a pedestal. There have been times where my players decided to stealth into a location and it started going very poorly, and I had no chase actually planned ahead of time, but I could sense that one was probably about to be needed, so I decided, the next failed stealth would trigger a chase sequence. So there are many different triggers that you could end up going with. Just start to decide one in your head. Of course, it's always hard to think on the fly and kind of pick one out of nowhere, but I promise you, the more you start practicing and trying to do that, the easier it's going to become. Number 2, and this is sort of the meat of the chase itself, you need to devise a series of skill checks that they're going to have to accomplish as the chase progresses. So you can have one player that is being chased and they have to do these skill checks on their own, or if it's your whole party that's being chased, or the majority of your party, then it's going to be a group check. So you've got a series of skill checks, and I really think the key here is to make them varied. It's not enough to just have 8 dexterity checks. That's boring. You need to vary it up. You need to have some that are acrobatics based, have some that are athletics based. Maybe as they're running and they're being chased, they start to get winded, and so they have to make a constitution check or save to sort of fight through their fatigue and get through the last bit of that chase. Whatever it is, try to vary them up. Try to not make them all the same. I think that's the key, because it keeps your players guessing. It makes them feel like the second they sort of solve one problem in one riddle, there's a new one facing them that they have to very quickly get through. That's sort of the key of it. So number 2, have your series of varied skill checks. Number 3, and this is important, add consequences for failures and rewards for successes. So you've got all your different skill checks, and maybe some of them they don't do well on, and some of them they do extremely well on. Have some sort of answer or consequence for that. If they fail a check, maybe the next one they make is at disadvantage, or maybe it means the group chasing them is getting closer to them. If they succeed, maybe they get a little extra bit ahead, maybe they get some sort of bonus or advantage to their next roll. There needs to be some sort of reward or consequence system in check so that it feels like the things that are happening, the things that they're doing or trying to check to see if they can accomplish matter. Because otherwise, what's the point? What's the point in making a bunch of skill checks if failing or succeeding does nothing for them? Number 4, you need to increase the difficulty as the chase progresses. So at the start, maybe things are a little easier, but as they're going through this sequence and they're encountering these new obstacles and all those things, it becomes more and more difficult and harder to accomplish. They need to feel that the stakes are getting higher. They need to feel that tension, because otherwise, if it's all just the same and it's never getting more hard or less easy, however you want to look at it, then what's the point? It's just this stagnant thing that we have to get through. It's not something that we have to fight to overcome. It's just something that we're stuck in the middle of. There's a point to increasing difficulty. It's that raising the stakes, that building of tension that really is going to make the chase sequence feel impactful and special. Number 5, don't drag it on too long. I know this is tough. You need a series of skill checks. You need it to get harder as it goes on, but you don't want it to last forever. There's sort of a sweet spot where it's like just long enough to feel significant and important, but if it's too long, then it's dragging. It's dragging on. It's like the chase itself should feel fast-paced, so if it lasts too long, it doesn't matter how quick you throw out obstacles. It's just, oh my gosh, now we're at the 10th obstacle and I'm still getting chased. It's not fast-paced anymore. It's just the never-ending chase sequence. So yeah, you want a series of skill checks. You need it to get harder as it goes on. You need these consequences and rewards, but you kind of have to keep it quick and brief. You need to deliver these obstacles quickly, and you need to limit yourself when it comes to the number of skill checks you use. I think in the last chase sequence I did, it was just me and one other player, and I think maybe I only threw like 6 or 7 obstacles at her. I try not to make it too crazy long. Yeah, because it's just too much. There's just no need for that. Yeah, but this was short and sweet and to the point, but this is how to run a chase sequence. There's of course different ways to spice each one up. You know, the terrain that you're going through, the obstacles that you're encountering are always going to fluctuate and change and make each chase sequence unique. But at its core, these are the important things to remember. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please feel free to like and subscribe, but more importantly, leave a comment down below. Tell me about your most successful chase sequences. Tell me about your least successful chase sequences. I know I have a few. But yeah, or tell me about things that you do instead of chase sequences. Tell me about other aspects of the game that you'd like me to cover. Anything. I just always enjoy reading y'all's comments and hearing about different ways that you handle things in your own games. But yeah, with all of that said and done, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you again next time. Fun fact, I filmed this video immediately after my last tip video. All I did was take my sweatshirt off so that it wouldn't look like I was in the exact same outfit. But I have time today, and I suspect that I will not have time on the day when I would normally be filming this week's video. So here I am, Amanda from further in the past than normal. But yeah, I hopefully show rehearsals are still going well, and hopefully I have found some time to sleep, and hopefully I find time to edit this and send it out so that everything I'm talking about right now makes sense. Anyway, take care guys, have a good day, and I'll see you next time.